Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse. You could get them inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse by the Dome. And of course, you can go out to 343 Fayette Street in Manlius and find them on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road. Sweetheart Corner, established in Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. It is my honor and my privilege to welcome to the show for many times he's been here with us. He is a reoccurring member of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora's guest list, and I am so honored and happy to have him back here on the show, and that is Enrico Mastroianni, and he is... well, we'll talk about it in a minute. Enrico, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So let's talk about how my girlfriend's team beat your team yesterday.
Oh, wow. We got to lead in on that. Wow. I was hoping we were going to forget about that conversation. It was a tough day yesterday.
Yeah, it was a tough day. So what are your thoughts on how your Browns were looking yesterday?
They looked like they looked like they were celebrating Halloween a little too early. they were in costumes as football players, but I don't think they arrived. It was a tough day.
I like that. They were in costumes as football players, but they weren't the actual players. I like that. So, I mean, for you being
it's a tough topic. I mean, I think the answer is yes, they should. I know he's not probably earned, top dollar, but I think he still could be a franchise quarterback. I think it's just, he's got to have certain freedom to do things that I don't think he has right now within that offense. And I think that's kind of holding the whole offense back a little bit. It's a run first, heavy run style offense. And, I think he's more of a run and shoot kind of guy. He needs to get out in space a little bit more. And so, keeping him in the pocket is probably not the right style of play for him. But I know that shoulder injury is limiting him now. So, it's a long season. It's a tough loss, division loss, but I think they'll bounce back. I think we'll be okay.
Do you want to say anything to Gerry this morning?
See you soon.
I like it. Well, another topic of discussion is Odell Beckham Jr. Keep him or let him go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's obviously a failed experiment at this point. I don't think you can expect to get anything, like what was expected when we first traded for him. I don't think you can get any of that realized at this point. It seems like he doesn't, he doesn't seem to be too thrilled to be there, and obviously that's showing up in the production or lack thereof. So I think at this point it's, find him a new home, and I wish that there was a market for him for the line, but I don't think it exists right now.
That so many people try to emulate in their own play. I mean, when he came to Cleveland, was this one of the biggest busted moves ever?
Yeah, I mean, it was incredibly exciting at the time. I mean, when, I remember when the rumors spread and everybody talking about it, I can't wait, we're going to, getting Odell. And, if you look at his production over the years, every single year it's declined since the backup got the touchdown. So it's tough. It's a crapshoot. You never know who's going to produce. And the way Baker spreads the ball around, it's like there's not enough consistency there. But he does go to Jarvis Landry a lot. But like I said, Jarvis kind of literally and figuratively dropped the ball yesterday. So.
Coming from Enrico Mastroianni, super happy with his favorite football team.
I'm so appreciative that you started the conversation this way, Dan. This is awesome. Thanks.
Well, I had to jump it because you have to. I'm not a preemptive strike guy, but I don't want to talk about the Jaguars, so I gotta go anywhere else in this conversation. But we're here with Enrico Mastroianni. Enrico, we're fresh off the tip-off dinner, the 6th annual. We didn't get to have one last year, but this is technically the 6th. And your thoughts on how the tip-off dinner went overall?
I think it was a great success. I mean, obviously our parents, families, friends, everybody had great positive feedback for us. They enjoyed the event. For a lot of our team, a large percentage of our team, they had never experienced this before. I think we have 5 seniors and 1 junior. But the whole sophomore class, all the freshmen, had never seen this before. So I think there was a little uncertainty about what was going to happen, how it was all going to go on. Having done this several times now, and even at other institutions before I came to Marywood, I knew it was going to be a special night. Whenever you get a chance to get all these people in one room who care enough about these guys that work so hard throughout the preseason, that prepare all summer long. They're lifting weights. They're playing open gym. They're working camps for us. They're doing community service stuff, fundraising, all that. Whenever you can get all those people in one room to support these guys and celebrate them, it's bound to be a special occasion, and it was. And I'm really happy for our guys that they got a chance to enjoy that, especially coming off of a scrimmage. We had a scrimmage earlier in the day, and you always want to make sure that we get something good out of it. It's a scrimmage day, and we want the parents to be there to support their guys, watching them play. But at the same time, come out with us, celebrate with us. Let's kick this season off right and make sure everybody's looking forward to the future.
I saw that that night as I was reading off the winning numbers for the raffle that Marco should be playing the lottery at this point.
Yeah, he's got a little luck on the side, that kid, I guess. He certainly hammed it up at the dinner. I think he enjoyed the microphone too.
Yeah, no, he did, and he had a good time. He was a lot of fun. You know what? And very, very well behaved, I would say.
Different from the last time you were there. You're not taking his shirt off anymore at dinner. He's good. He's going to sit still for us.
I like it. So here with Enrico Mastroianni, the men's basketball head coach for the Marywood Pacers. Your thoughts on Lee Rubin, the keynote speaker? Just your thought on what he brought to the table and just his message that he had that night for the Marywood tip-off dinner.
Yeah, Lee is a special guy. I mean, he's amazing. And anyone who hasn't heard him speak yet, I encourage them to, sign him up, get him out to talk to your team, to your corporation, whatever it is, because he's just a phenomenal speaker and leader. And, I think I mentioned it when I spoke, when I had my minute to speak there, just to say he's still guiding me, still leading me as a friend, as a man, and as a coach. And his message to the team was incredible. I hope the guys paid attention. I know their parents did. They all had great feedback for Lee, for me, about his talk. Just talking about, opportunities and that they exist and they belong to whoever goes and gets it, right? That ball is up in the air. Who does it belong to? Whoever goes and gets it, whoever wants it. So if you want it more and you want to go get it, it's your chance, it's your opportunity. Take it. Don't hesitate. So I think that was a great message and appropriate right now at this point when, like I said, coming off of one scrimmage, I got another one left, then we tip off for real. And it's, at that point, you can't look back.
Yeah, and for you to see that, like you said, balls up in the air, go get it. Do you feel like you embody that in your life? Do you feel like you've done a good job yourself at going and getting it when the ball's in the air?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think that's what everyone would hope to do, and time will tell. And to this point in my life and my career, I've been very fortunate. I have a beautiful family and beautiful wife, and great team to coach, great program to lead, and couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, we always are going to look back and say, and you achieve it, then you've done your job, you've done your part. So certainly not satisfied at this point, but I would say headed in the right direction.
That coming here from Enrico Mastroianni this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Always appreciate having Enrico on the show inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, fresh off of the Marywood basketball tip-off dinner, the 6th annual. Enrico, because you played one game last season, you are technically heading into year number 7 as the head coach of the Marywood men's basketball team. Thoughts on the first 6 years?
I think we've seen a lot of growth. I think we've got a lot of promise. Definitely every year we start anew, and it's exciting, and it's new energy found, new hopes, new dreams. Goals are always the same. You're always striving to be that last team standing. Hang that banner, win that championship, and I think now moving into year 7, that expectation is a lot more real than it's been in years past. So, in year 1, year 2, we're still kind of formulating our team, our process, what we were trying to do with recruiting, what we were trying to do with the makeup of the team and the type of players that we were bringing in. And now we're at at the point where it's kind of like the expectation is we're going to bring in winners. We're going to bring in guys that want to win. So I think we're there. I think we have the right guys here now, and that's the expectation every year. We're gonna get better and grow.
Yeah, in getting better and growing, where have you seen the growth the most on your team? I mean, where is the culture at? We hear about culture and environment all the time. Where are things comparative to where you wanted them to be at this point in your coaching career?
Well, I can tell you this. I sent a message to the guys yesterday, just thanking them for everything, for the dinner and the scrimmage yesterday or the day before. And, the one thing I said was that I talked to probably 4 or 5 people, independent of who was at our dinner, and the common theme at our dinner, too, was the same. But people who watched our scrimmage that said to me, Coach, I can't believe how impressive it is that your guys play so hard. They play with such great effort and intensity. And to me, that's not something that's negotiable. That's what we talk about a lot. That's the expectation. So they've grown into that, where the expectation is that we're going to play hard no matter what. They play with great effort. They share the ball. They're learning to communicate better. That's something that comes with time every year. But the fact of the matter is they love playing together. They play hard for each other, with each other, and to make sure that they're pursuing that same common goal, and I think that's what our culture is. Our culture is about winning. It's about doing things right, and it's about being together. And I know I've mentioned this to you before, but our theme for the season is TRT, and it's, tough, resilient, and together. And that's I think that emulates how we play.
That coming here from Enrico Mastroianni, the head coach of the Marywood men's basketball team, and coming off of the Marywood basketball tip-off dinner, the 6th annual tip-off dinner here as we head into year number 7 for Enrico Mastroianni at Marywood. Enrico, did you envision that you would be at Marywood 7 years in? I mean, when you first took the job, did you think, hey, I'm here for the long haul, I'm going to turn this program into something, I really want to be a mainstay here and send a message to the world on who Marywood is? Did you anticipate this, or are you pleasantly surprised that here we are stepping into year 7 and you get to lead the program again?
Yeah, no, I think this was the goal. And I mean, you never know what's going to happen in life and where it'll take you, and especially in basketball and in coaching. But, Scranton is home. I know I've told you this, this, but for the listeners, Scranton is home. This is where I grew up, and I take a lot of pride in that, being back home and, making this program, into something that people in this area can be proud of. And I think that's really what the ultimate goal is for me, is coming back home and making this team a winner. And, that was the message from when we started way back when, 7 years ago. And it's not changed. We're unrelenting in that. And, my family is here. My kids are growing up in the area with my extended family around, and they're in school. This is home. This is where we are, and we're happy to be here.
And speaking of home, how are the guy that was like the real home improvement guy? So are you getting your Bob Vila feels on right now?
Definitely not. No. That, when I was younger and a little bit more ambitious and experimenting with home projects, maybe, but not now. No, I will outsource those projects now, and we're in the process of that as well as we speak, with some outdoor stuff going on right now. And I just don't have time for it right now, Dan. I love doing the outside stuff, but season is upon us, so it's not working out that way.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. You know what? And you definitely, good for you to get away with that and go, oh, man, it's the season. I can't work on it now. Oh, honey, geez. I mean, those rocks got to be moved, but it's November 1st. Rico, listen. You're a slick man. You know what you're doing. That's all I'm going to say to you. I mean, very suave is what I should say. You made a good. Oh, darn it, Jamie. It was unbeknownst to me that the shed needed to be cleaned out, and it's November 1st. So I like it. I like the outsource. Good for you too. I would too.
Control, Dan. That's it.
Right? Yeah, listen, I would outsource too. I look at if I was sitting here with Carrie right now and she'd be like, what do you want to do about those rocks? I think that if God put them there, He wants them to be there. That's what I would think. Looking at the fact that your captains Adam Busada and Jason Holman spoke with me, and we had an opportunity to hear what they had to say about this upcoming season, about what they've learned these last 18 months, about what they think of you as a coach. What was your take on them? And we didn't get to talk on stage after they spoke, so what did you think about some of the words from Busada and Holman?
Well, I think it showed a lot of growth and maturity in them as individuals. I mean, they're very well spoken, they're intelligent men, and they're great representation of our program. I think I recognized it in Adam probably, I would say about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We had a recruit on campus, and he was hanging around with us and took some time to sit down and talk with them a little bit. And just some of the things that he was saying that was coming out of his mouth, I was like stunned. I turned and I looked at him like, who is this guy? Because he was just so eloquent and, well spoken about our program and about his experience within our program and how much it's done for him as a man. And it was like, those are the moments like a dad, you're proud, like, wow, look, we raised you right, so it was great to hear. And then with Jason, I mean, he alluded to it. He comes in the office all the time, and that's the truth. I mean, it's about relationships, and those two guys throughout the pandemic and the summer leading up to this season were very much engaged and involved with me about what we were doing, what we were trying to do, and they've been good ambassadors for our program thus far.
Do you see Busada?
That's the truth. I mean, it's about relationships.
Do you see Busada being a head coach someday or a coach in general?
And I don't know that he wants that. I think certainly he could me about what we were doing. He could do well if he tried, to do that. Good ambassadors for our program. I think Adam's, he's going to be heading into the financial industry probably, and not sure that time will permit that. Jason, on the other hand, is going into education, and typically when you go that route, coaching is a natural complement to that. So. I think either one, if they tried or wanted to, I'm sure they would be great at it. We do have some coaches out there in the field right now, and I'm really excited that they're out there doing that.
Yeah, I mean, because to me, it just seems like you have some really good leadership on this team, and it's coming through. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that I'm hearing maybe some coaching voices, so to speak, when I hear some of these guys talk. Yeah, and I think you talk about modeling behaviors, and hopefully that means that we're doing a good job at that. The coach speak thing is kind of cliche, but I think the messages are what's important, and hopefully some of them are coming through, and these guys are adapting to that, evolving into that. And like I said, we have a lot of former players out there coaching right now that I'm really proud of, and I wouldn't be surprised if these guys wanted to pursue that as well. That coming from Enrico Mastroianni here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, fresh off of the Marywood basketball tip-off dinner. Before I let you go, Enrico, on stage as the MC and looking out in the room, people paid attention. They weren't on their phones. They weren't looking down. I mean, not only did you have a packed house, but you had people that were very attentive to the message, very much wanted to hear what was said by the players and the coaches and the keynote speaker and whatnot. It was a very active room and a very welcoming room. So I'm sure you got to be proud of that. Yeah, I am. And like I said, I mean, the most important thing to me is that the guys were honored and recognized as they should be. And I think that we got that point across. The parents had great feedback and talked a lot about how wonderful an evening it was and how much they appreciate, their sons being in our program and in our guidance. And that's the most important thing to me is that, we're providing an environment for these guys to grow into the men that we expect that they can be. Sometimes as a player, and I think this is another thing, the message that Lee provided, Lee Rubin, as a player, sometimes it hurts, it stinks, you don't like it, you want to quit. You're going to take you many places in life, and we're fortunate so far with this team that it's been able to take us to places like Toronto. This year we're going to go to Naples, Florida. Hopefully next year, maybe international. We're not sure, but we're excited about
what the future holds with this team and with this program, and it doesn't work without the people that were there last night or Saturday night and the captive audience that we had that, like I said, they care about these guys, they care about our program, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah, and mention of your team is going down to Naples. Years we'll see teams go and travel. They get that opening, that opportunity to do so. Syracuse has gone to Italy before, but to see a Division III team where so much of it is fundraising and grassroots and whatnot, for you and everything you do, and you do an incredible job at it, and I want to commend you for it because you're constantly promoting this team and you're constantly getting the word out and constantly very gently and very openly asking for help, and I think that that's an art. For you to be able to do this with a D3 team, to give them essentially a D1 experience, just how important that was for you to do, and where did you come up with the idea and said, hey, you know what, why not us? Why not us go to Florida? Why not us go overseas? Because I think that this is a relatively unheard of thing for Division III, and I think it needs to be spotlit a little bit more what you're doing.
Well, I think you always try to model behavior of those that you admire, and I've seen a lot of teams, a lot of coaches. I know you said it's unheard of, but there are a lot of schools at the Division III level that can pull it off. It may be different than what we do, and like you said, grassroots fundraising. There are some schools that have maybe better donor situation, right? They have an endowment situation where they can afford to do that every year and they don't have to fundraise for it, or they just ask their players to make payments and pay off the trips. And we're trying to avoid that at all costs. We're trying to make sure that we can raise the money without the guys having to come out of pocket for it. So there's a lot of effort in it. But to me, it was something that I thought, once I became a head coach, I always thought this is what I want to do. I was an assistant at Misericordia for 4 years with Trevor Woodruff, who's now the head women's basketball coach at Bucknell. And I remember during our time there, he took the team to Ireland for a preseason. So we haven't yet achieved that international trip yet. Like Toronto's international, that counts. I get it, but over the ocean kind of trip. So that's a goal, and that's where we're headed towards. But again, it may take a year or two to get there still. But every year we decided that we want to go somewhere, get these guys somewhere, get a trip somewhere. It's a nice incentive, I think, for being part of our program that every year you're here, you're going to go on a trip and experience something that you might not have otherwise.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome. I think it's incredible to be able to do something like that with this team. And for you, I mean, are you trying to essentially upgrade the narrative, change the narrative for Division III athletics? Because, I see that in you all the time, but we haven't really spoken about, how you view it. Do you feel that through what you're doing and what you're trying to build at Marywood, that you're elevating beyond maybe what some people think the D3 model is?
Well, I think if nothing else, I'm trying to change the narrative of what Marywood basketball is. And I think the expectations when I arrived were not where I thought they should be. Like I said, we've changed it in terms of culture on the court. We expect to win. We expect to compete. We expect to be a playoff team. Those things will never change for me. And our guys have grown to know that now and accept that. As far as what we do outside of the court, the extracurricular stuff, I mean, yeah, that's stuff that had not been done consistently before. And I think, whatever we can do to keep enhancing this program at Marywood is really what my focus and my goal is. If it does anything in terms of Division III focus or adaptation, that's great. But, I'm concerned about us here at home.
Yeah, and do you feel like you've done that? I mean, I know you're always working, and I know that it's a constant thing for you, but has the narrative changed with Marywood basketball? And do you feel like the narrative
headed in the right direction? We're always going to be a work in progress. I mean, that's, you're never changing. You're always evolving. So we hope to continue to do that. But yeah, our bar has been raised, and I give credit back to those teams, that were with us in year 1, 2, 3 that tried to help, develop that change, and now it's being realized on a regular basis, and I'm grateful for those guys that were here and put their time into it, and not just those guys that I coached, but even the ones before that who didn't have a lot of these things, and we still get alumni come back and talk to us and tell us how grateful we should be for the things that we're experiencing because they didn't get some of that stuff. And I think that goes back to what Lee's comment was about the ball's up in the air, go get it, right? And so we're going to take on that mentality, and whether it's about wins on the court or community service or fundraising opportunities or trips that we want to plan, we're going to go get it. We're not going to wait for anybody else to tell us what we can do. We're going to try to do things and think outside the box and continue to grow this program.
Hey, coming here from Enrico Mastroianni of Marywood men's basketball, coming off of the 6th annual Marywood basketball tip-off dinner. Enrico, here before I let you go, we spoke about Mom when we were at the events, and your mother was there, and obviously, and I let her know this as well, but, with your father's passing a while back, obviously tough, but there in spirit. And your mother has really, she's an incredible woman, and I think she should know that. I'm sure she does, and I'm sure she has that love from you all, from you and from Jamie and from the kids and whatnot. What can you say? I want to shout out, for those who don't know, to shout out Mom, let everybody know, her name, her background, whatever. But, I would love to spend a little bit more time on Mom, because I know we talked about your mother a little bit at the event, but it's such a beautiful thing when you, as a grown person, man or woman, can look out into the audience and to know that an event that you're doing for, your dreams and your aspirations, that you actually have a mother or a father or both sitting there, which I thought was incredible for you. So I'd love to talk about that a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I could talk about my mother for days. I told you that on stage, Dan. It's hard to sum it up in a short sentence, but what she's given me in my life and my brother and sister, I mean, it's everything. She taught us love, and and she is unrelenting in that. Without condition. My mother, Palma, came to America when she was, I think, 7 years old, maybe 9, didn't speak the language, started in an elementary school where she had to have a translator help her to learn the language and learn how to go to school, basically. And, she could have had amazing careers in life. She's a very talented woman. But, met my dad when she was very young and in high school, and decided to get married after graduation and raise this family. And so, again, just a testament to her love and care for our whole family, like gave up her own aspirations and dreams to try to make a life for her children. And she did. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. And Palma is she's a very sweet person. I told my mom after the event, I said, she had some very kind words that she said to me. And, I said, when it comes from a loving, I just told my mom it's different. When it comes from, there's a mother's love, and when you hear something from a mom, it just hits different. And, and you believe it. And so I just, I said it really touched me. It really moved me. And it was really something special. And so I feel like your mom deserves so much by the shoulders and talk to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, I was totally moved by the few minutes I got to spend with her. So I can only imagine what it is to spend a life with her.
Yeah. And I would tell you she's had that effect on everyone that she's met, and anyone that's ever worked with me or for me or that I worked for that's ever met her has walked away feeling the same way. She is, entirely and truly the most special person in the world to me. So I know what she's worth, and I'm glad to tell the world about it.
And we would be remiss if I didn't say the awesome, the incredible, the vivacious, the fantastic, the ringleader, the torch bearer, the drum roller, Jamie Mastroianni. So, let's talk a little bit. I've never introduced her like that before, so
Yeah, I was gonna say when you said the drum roller, I was gonna say, oh, the thunder roller. Yeah, she makes some noise when she comes into the room.
so what's life like? I mean, knowing that Jamie obviously, as you said it, and Jason Leone has said it before. Basketball widow and all of that, and single parent and whatnot. What's Jamie meant to your life on and off the court?
Well, I mean, just at first glance, obviously, I don't do this without her support. It's impossible to do without love and support from your family. And like you said, as the ringleader, she has to make sure everybody is organized and on time and where they need to go. And I'm not around for a lot of that. And it's unfortunate that she has to bear that on her own. But she, does it better than anybody else. And so it's one of those things that we've just kind of grown into as a family. The expectation is that come October, you're not going to see me much anymore. And, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of things that go on between now and March that I just kind of am present for, don't have a lot of involvement in, but, thank goodness for her, because if not, this doesn't work.
Coming from Enrico Mastroianni. Enrico, you've been in awesome sports through everything over the weekend as well. So in true fashion, we're going to play rapid fire. However, I'm not going to put you on the hot seat. I'm only going to put me on the hot seat. So with that being said, you get to ask me any three things. Could be related to this weekend that we just had or anything else, but I have to answer them. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. All right. Dan, you've been to 3 tip-off dinners so far. What was your most memorable experience from those?
I would say, I'm going to go down the line. So I would say my most memorable experience from being the keynote speaker, an honor that you gave me that I don't know if I deserve it, but an honor that you gave me a few years back to have my first ever chance to be a keynote speaker. I would say what I remember most about that was just sending the message. And I hadn't written down a speech. I had just kind of written down some bullet points, and I let it fly from there. And I felt very. I didn't know. You don't know if anything gets through or if people really heard it. And afterwards, it was incredible, and the way that the team reacted, and the men's and women's team was there. I remember taking the picture with everybody, and it was just a giant room of support, and all the players were so great. And I would say a couple years ago, being able to make history with the first ever Marywood Media Day of any sport, to be able to run that and treat you with the respect that, I think everybody deserves. I go to ACC tip-off, I do American athletic events and a bunch of other things, and I feel like a media day should be for all. So I think, with Marywood, that was important for me to sit down and to be a part of that. But I think really what I remembered about that was Duran and, the message that he played when I was broadcasting MU courtside, and that connection just really meant a lot to me. His message meant a lot to me. And then I would say this year was different. This year, looking out into that crowd, it was a different experience because we, as I said that night, we've been through so much. We've seen so much. We've fought battles that people don't even know that we fought. And I think that, this year just really, I was grateful to be alive. I was grateful to have a microphone. I was grateful for the opportunities that God has given me. And I was just happy to be in that room, and I really just felt, like I said, I felt the weight of that. I honestly felt I don't know, I felt like I came into a different place. I felt like I leveled up that night, and what I kind of command from myself, and so I just felt like, hey, you're doing what you love, you get to do it, you get to be with people that you love, and I think for me, the greatest thing about this year is just that healthy reminder that God really, really, really does take care of his own, and I cannot be more grateful for that. I really can't.
Okay, very good answers. Next question. You've had a little bit of time now to talk to Lee Rubin.
Yeah.
You haven't, had him, or you haven't had him on the show, I don't think, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. What do you think you would say to somebody who didn't know Lee Rubin? What would be one word that you would say to describe him?
One word to describe Lee Rubin. I would probably use the word, there's a couple that come to mind, but I would probably say inspirational. I would say that because when he said, go get it, and he had made mention of that, I think he's well spoken, and I think he's inspirational. I think he concisely gets his point across. He delivers it very well from step A to B to C and on, and I think that he very well put together a message that was very clear and very simple, that if you want something, you need to be willing to go get it. So I think that that's probably what I would say. Well spoken and inspirational. He definitely left with. I think he's one of those people that you can leave and say that most people got the message.
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. And last question. You talk about inspiration. Who is your inspiration and why?
I'm going to try to do this without crying. So I would say my...
You made me cry, so we're even.
Yeah. No, I would say that my inspiration is my mom and G Mama that I mentioned at the event. The opportunity to... I think being my grandmother's grandson is one of the greatest things that God ever entrusted me with. And I think for me, she just taught me so much. I think she's my... her and my mom are my greatest inspirations because they love in such a way that people would probably determine as impossible. My mother is such an incredible woman. I said that she's the only person on the planet that can make me cry every day, and not in a bad way. I just love my mom so much that it brings me to tears, because when my mom says she's proud of you, it hits different. And she's a very honest woman. She's a very clear woman. She won't tell you something unless she feels it and she means it. And so I think, when you have my mom's respect, when you have her support, when you have her prayers and her well wishes, my mother is the type of person that I feel that everybody should come to know. And I think, and I tell my mom this all the time, the world sees my mother's worth. And I think my mom is finally starting to see her own. And it's been a long journey where she's taking care of everybody else, but she really deserves to take care of herself, and she deserves to have that peace, because she leaves people with, and it's, my grandfather did it, my grandmother did it, my mom does it. They leave a room better than they found it. And they leave people with this incredible feeling of positivity. When my grandfather passed away, my mom said there's like 500 people at the wake. There were people there that met him once. There were people there from the bank. There were people there from the post office. He left his trail everywhere. He just left a piece of himself. And my grandmother was the same way. My grandmother, they called her the mayor. They called her the president. She would walk from the back room of the diner to the front room, and she talked to 45 people on the way out the door. And my mom is the same way. It's just when you have the love that I've had in just that little nook of my family, you are spoiled. I mean, if that's the only love I got for the rest of my life, those three people would give me everything I need to fight the devil himself face on. And I think that they deserve the credit, and they deserve the thanks and the appreciation and the daps for the fact that, you know, those three people really, to me, are, if that was my whole world, my world would be more than full, and I think I'd be pretty spoiled.
It's awesome. Yeah, no, it's very, very similar type of experience for me and my family as well. And, you know, I think the Italian piece has something to do with that. I'm a little biased.
Yeah. You know, and Sebastian Maniscalco, I was watching him last night, and he's talking, the comedian, he's talking about, remember when people used to come to the house, ring the doorbell, and your mother always had an Entenmann's cake, and nobody was allowed to touch it, and he's talking about it, he goes, those bran muffins, those crappy original things that have no flavor, those are for you guys, but this cake, this Danish, this is for if anybody comes over.
Whenever we get company.
Yeah, and when the doorbell rang, you were excited to find out who it is, and you'd go to the door, and always there was the cookies, the anisette cookies. There was the you know, the Lincourt Bakery for us up north. There was always something. There was always coffee in the pot just at 9 o'clock at night in case somebody a traveler came through. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Italians do it better. Just say it. It's fine. So, we do. When people describe what family life should be, when they describe how you should open the door, welcome somebody into the house, make dinner, sit, talk, put the TV off, throw the phones away. When they talk about that, it's us. What Italians brought to America, the nation of the house. So you're welcome, America. You're welcome.
Dan, that's great. I want to agree with everything you said, but I'm going to try to remain politically correct.
Yeah, well, I'm politically incorrect. Listen, I love everybody and without wishing for anything in return, without asking for anything, without even knowing it sometimes. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart that, you know, you have incredibly improved my life, which was already great. And hopefully my friendship with you, just want to say thank you.
I don't know if that's true. I appreciate everything you do for us too. And, you know, it was an incredible experience to have you with us Saturday and in this new role as the MC. I mean, you nailed it. It was awesome. Like you said, you had a captive audience. I don't think that's on accident. I think you did a great job of gathering everyone together and getting their attention. And I appreciate that. And everything that you do for our program and for our university. You know, I know you're a proud alum, so keep on rocking with it. And we'll be here for you whenever you want to be involved.
Well, that coming from Enrico Mastroianni. We'll have to get Mom out here and you know, and have some fun with it. But as always, Enrico, thank you. Shout out to the whole family. And I have to say to Marco, Elena, and Angelina as well, big shout out to the trio of children and, of course, the pup at home. So a lot of great stuff going on with the family. And your kids are, you know, at this, what are they? They're 34, 24, and 18 at this point.
Isn't it crazy? I know. From where we started a few years ago, how little they were, and now look how much they've grown. It's incredible. So, yeah, time flies. You got to take advantage of it while you can, and try not to waste any opportunities. So, we're gonna go to that area. Wants to come out and see us play Friday night, November 5th at 8 p.m. is our home opener. So, hope to see you all there.
I love that, and we will definitely be in touch with Enrico through the season. Tip off this Friday, November 5th at 8 p.m. in Scranton at Marywood University. Enrico, as always, thank you, and I know you spent a lot of time here this morning, so I appreciate you letting me steal you away for a bit, and I'll look forward to keeping up and talking with you soon.
My pleasure, Dan. Thank you so much for everything.
All right, take care.
See you.
That coming from Enrico Mastroianni. One more time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We'll be back from the Cafe Kubal studios right after this. We're in hour number 2, which means it is Syracuse on Syracuse on Syracuse on Syracuse on Syracuse. It's about to get very, 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 very deep into this Orange men's basketball season, folks. I don't know if you're ready for what's coming after this break. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from numerous players on the team. My one-on-one conversations you won't find anywhere else, because these are conversations we had just mano-a-mano. Symir, Torrence, Jimmy Boeheim, Frank Anselem, Joe Girard III, Jesse Edwards, Cole Swider, Benny Williams, all coming onto the show today to usher in the season. and my one-on-one conversations with the trio of Syracuse assistant coaches, Gerry, McNamara, and to you here in hour number 2 inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, only on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So let's get rocking right after this fast break.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new creaminess and texture of our regular ice, hard or soft ice cream. We will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
Bars aren't family friendly. Some family friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. We are in hour number 2 on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, which means it is now time for us to jump into my conversations with the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team. I've had numerous conversations going into the season, which I'm ecstatic to be able to share with you. And it's not just this morning. There's a bunch of different stuff that's going to be coming up here where sports meets that thing called life. So we're going to jump in to my conversation first and foremost with Symir Torrence this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Very excited to have the opportunity to speak with Symir on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. He's been on the show before, and now you have the opportunity to hear from him once again here on Wake Up Call. And again, you know, Symir being a CNY native is so important. Bringing him in from Marquette, giving him the opportunity to be a part of this team is truly cool. So with that being said, we welcome Symir into the show. So just bring me into, you're here now. I mean, you came from this community. You and I spoke about growing up here and being a part of this. You're on a team with familiar guys as well, but now you're wearing the orange. How surreal is that to you that that's across your chest now?
Special. Special moments that I get to cherish every day. Being around Buddy, being around Jimmy, being around Joe just brings back memories to AAU, and I get to cherish them. It's just special. For a coach that I always dreamed of playing for. I'm from here, so it just means a lot to me. Everybody in the city knows how hard I work to get here, and especially to be on this team. And I feel like it's just a great moment. can't thank nobody but the man above for all the opportunities he's given me.
It kind of seems like an unteachable yet beautiful thing, what you have with Buddy, Jimmy, and Joe, because you know them. Is that something that we can kind of see and get excited about this season, that there can be kind of that almost osmosis? You know where they're going to be, you kind of know their tendencies, something that could bring another element to the team, knowing that you guys have played together and you know each other?
Oh, for sure. Fans should definitely be excited just because we're essentially guys. Everybody wants to go where they want to go.
How important is it to keep Central New York guys, upstate New York guys here on this team in Syracuse? How vital do you think that is, and what does it mean to you to be a part of that?
It means a lot. It means anybody coming out of Syracuse can do what I do or better. They just got to put in the work to do it.
Who's finishing last at 2?
Yeah, that's really it.
That coming once again from Symir Torrence here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, you know, and him saying, and being very humble, you know, him saying, hey, listen, that other people can do it, you know, not just me, but that other people can do it, and to know that they can do it, that they could come into this school and they can do that. So I think that that's really incredible that, you know, that he has that, you know, not only does he have the talent, but that he shows that love for other people, and that he's humble. You know, I think humble is a lost art sometimes, and so it's great to see him have that. So a big shout out to him. Next up here in my conversations with the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team heading into the season is Mr. Jimmy Boeheim. I had a big time special with Jimmy Boeheim going into the season right after he made his decision from Cornell. I'll share that with you on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT today, so you can go back and listen to it. It is timeless, and you don't want to miss that. Here's another conversation with Jimmy Boeheim going into the season. Well, I've dubbed it the Boeheim Cubed. I think we've spoken about it, but just what it's like to be here with your brother and your dad, knowing that you used to run around the gym of Syracuse as a little kid, and now you're running around with it across your chest. How surreal is that for you, and just what it means to you?
Yeah, very surreal. I keep using it. Surreal. It feels to interact with the fans and stuff, which I appreciate, and it's cool, I think. And I mean, yeah, I've definitely been dabbling with it a little bit, but I'm excited to see how it goes the rest of the year. But obviously, I mean, I came here to play basketball, and that's going to take a second, the back seat to that. So, but yeah, it's definitely a cool added aspect for sure.
Who came up with the Step Brothers idea?
That was me, actually. It was me. Yeah, it was me. It was the last second thing. I was like, oh, we should do that, and we did it. So it was pretty funny, I think. But
is there anything else that you're looking at? Something that's maybe coming down the road?
No, nothing like in particular, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully, some exciting stuff.
Biggest strengths for you from everything that you've taken from Cornell. What are you bringing to this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think just a veteran guy. I mean, I'm going to come in and play hard every night and do everything I can to help this team win. I think I can, you know, I'm looking to be more of a playmaker and, you know, to get guys shots here and there, hopefully. And, you know, my shots come a long way, I think. I think I'm shooting the ball pretty well right now. I'm feeling confident. I'm going to help rebound and really just do whatever I have to do to help this team win, I think, yeah.
Alan Griffin said to me that on one of Gerry McNamara's best nights, he was actually babysitting you and the twins in the hotel. Just how surreal that is when you talk about surreal.
It really is. I mean, just how full circle everything's come. I think it's crazy. I mean, seeing the videos of, you know, thinking about, you know, Buddy and I sitting in the back of the bus with Gerry after a game when he was playing, and now to have him coaching us. And I mean, it's such a great guy to have on your side. He's the best. So it's surreal. It really is. It's awesome.
That coming from Jimmy Boeheim here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in a never heard before discussion with Mr. Jimmy Boeheim here. So very happy to have Jimmy on the broadcast, and thank him so much for being a part of the show, which was great to have him back on. And like I said, the special that I have with Jimmy Boeheim, the extended special conversation one-on-one, I don't want you to miss a second of that. And so definitely make sure that you're with us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, like the page, and on Twitter at Call DT. Make sure you follow us there, and on Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, so you can connect with us and have the opportunity to hear that special and get the links as they come in, so you never miss an opportunity again to hear whatever we have coming up for you. And speaking of coming up, Frank Anselem is up next here. Frank and I had the opportunity to speak going into this season as well, which I'm very, very excited to share with you now. Here's Frank Anselem, center for the Syracuse Orange.
Coach, say something positive like that.
And that gives an opportunity for you.
IQ-wise, knowing the plays, I have an extra an experience under my belt, so that helps. Being an everyday guy, it's not easy to just come in Monday to Sunday.
More on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Plenty coming up here for those of you just tuning in. We heard from a trio of Syracuse Orange players. You heard from in the community of Central and Upstate New York, Joe Girard III, Jesse Edwards, Cole Swider, and Benny Williams. And later on in today's broadcast, you'll hear from the trio of Syracuse Orange assistant coaches, Gerry McNamara, Alan Griffin, and Adrian Autry. All of that on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in one place right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios.
Avicola's, located on the corner of Route 50 steps from Liverpool High School. We're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicola's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicola's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And, of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground in the classic cabin. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pick-up at campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Hanging out with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, traveling back from the great state of Pennsylvania, where I was just at the Inn of the Abingtons over the weekend as the MC of the 6th annual Marywood basketball tip-off dinner. And I want to give a big shout-out and a big thanks to the state of Pennsylvania, to Scranton, to the Inn of the Abingtons, of course to Marywood University, and to Enrico Mastroianni and the entire basketball team. And a big shout out to what you see right here. John Granquist, another graduate of Marywood University, is my graphic designer, and he helped bring these to life, including the new Wake Up Call logo on all of our apparel with the sun rising out of the coffee cup, which is such an awesome logo. By far one of the coolest things I've gotten to do in my company. And shout out to the awesome people that helped to put this on the apparel, that being the great people at Mark Products, run by Rich Louise and his entire team in Syracuse, New York. So big thanks to all of you, and a shout out to all of you today. With that being said, we're going to continue our conversations with the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team, as I have a bunch of specials to bring with you today. One-on-one conversations with the Orange team, and you've heard from a trio of players already: Symir, Torrence, Jimmy Boeheim, and Frank Anselem. Up next here is Mr. Joe Girard in our one-on-one conversation following their exhibition game against Pace University, the setters that came into the Dome, and the first basketball game that fans have seen in almost 2 years. So very excited to share this with you, my one-on-one talk with Joe Girard. Never heard before until now.
Coach just was talking about the fact that, he was asked a question about how you've matured or what you've done to get better, and he said, he's been good the whole time. Just what you can say about Coach's faith in you.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. It's one of the reasons that, you go out there every day and you want to win is because, you're playing for a guy like that who is going to have your back. And, it might not be to your face, but he's always going to have your back, whether it's to someone else and to your face. So he's obviously going to get on you. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He knows what he's doing. And it's always just to motivate you. So he's one of those guys who you love playing for because you know that he's got the passion to win, and he's going to have the passion to help you get better.
You came in having not played point guard. What's it been like to transition for you, and what can you say about your comfort level right now?
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I always just going out there and competing pretty much. I like to just be able to go out and play basketball. It's pretty much the same thing, the main thing for me, no matter what I'm doing. So I just love going out there competing. I feel pretty comfortable right now. I feel in a good spot, especially with the guys we got around me. It makes it a lot easier at my job when we have guys who can score like that. And so all I got to pretty much do is get them the ball in the right spot, and they're going to make a lot of shots.
For you, obviously liking to shoot and having the ability to make shots from all over the court, what's it like for you? Do you feel like you can set up your own shot when you have bringing the ball up the court? I mean, how have you taken that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just playing within the game, playing within the offense. If I need to do it, I'm always ready to do it. It's just about what Coach wants, what the kind of momentum is, who's playing well, who's not playing well, what we kind of need. So I think it's just a game-to-game basis, and then honestly, ball as well.
Jimmy, Buddy, Symir. I mean, This is a pretty awesome kind of homecoming in a way, especially at the D1 level, to see something like this.
No, it's amazing. I mean, you can even say Cole. I think we played Cole in AAU probably 6-7 times, throughout the whole time, so we all knew each other's games. And I think it just makes it that much easier on the court, and even off the court. The teams that are the closest off the court are usually the best on the court, and we got a really close group. We all know what each other likes, what to do, and it just makes playing with each other a lot easier.
Just what you could say about the debuts for all these guys. Symir being here, Cole Swider got his jersey number 21. Jimmy ended up with 18, and to see him come out here, and Benny obviously got involved as well. Just what it was like to see those guys finally in Orange.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I can speak for Jimmy especially. He's been chomping at the bit to get out here and play for his dad's program. I mean, this is his dad's program, let's be honest. He made Syracuse, and it's pretty amazing for Jimmy to see what he's been doing, see how hard he's worked to get to this point. So I know he's been chomping at the bit for it for sure. Symir is the same thing. He's a hometown kid. He really takes pride in being from Syracuse. So, always it seems like all the Syracuse guys always want to play for Syracuse. Why wouldn't they? And for it to come true for him as well is pretty neat. And even Cole. I remember way back when. I think if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure Syracuse was his second choice when he was getting recruited. And they were recruiting him pretty hard. He had come, talked to coach, and talked to GMAC a lot. So I know that this was always like a spot that he could have seen himself playing, and for it to come true, and he's got almost like a second chance, a second life, and just be able to
be thankful every day. So with that being said, as we now have the opportunity to move forward here with our next conversation, and that being with Jesse Edwards of the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team. I had the opportunity to catch up with Jesse after the first exhibition game, and this is what Jesse Edwards had to say to me as the team is moving forward and trying to find a way again without having Boeheim Sidibe there with them on the court. As Boeheim said after the game, that Boeheim had a procedure done, and we're looking at at 4 weeks until he can hopefully get back on the court. So this is Jesse Edwards, another center on the Syracuse squad.
Boeheim, obviously, it means a lot to your room, and knowing that he's going to be out for maybe 4 weeks, how have you guys handled it, and how have you seen him handle it?
We've tried to just support, be in as many ways as possible, because everybody knows it's so hard when you're out, when you feel like you can play so well and add so much to the team. So we just try to support him as much as we can, and he's been really handling it as well as I think you can. So yeah, all props to him for that.
And then for you to have to step up, just what you can say about your game from last year to this year. You did some good things last year, obviously had some important moments. Where have you grown as you get set for this season when the games actually start to count?
That's always, I always like to, look back instead of, not try to, say that I already have been improving when it's not, set in stone yet and when we haven't played yet. But in many ways, I feel like I just become more comfortable in what I have to do, because I know from experience just when I can do my thing and when not to do my thing. So I just feel a lot more comfortable out there. So that's definitely a big help.
You and Frank Anselem, how have you guys helped each other improve?
Just going at each other in practice, man. There's some scars right here on our arms. It's just going at each other in practice every day. One day he's better than me, the other day I'm better than him, and we just try to prove each other every day. And I believe that's what helped us a lot, because there's no room for relaxing right now. So yeah, definitely a lot of improvement for both the whole big group and everybody in it.
How would you describe the big man room as far as the talent that you have moving forward?
I think obviously I like to say we're really looking good, just like the feeling in the group is just really good, and like I said, we're just going hard every day. There's no friends on the court. Well, off the court we're all cool, but on the court we just go at each other and try to get the best out of each other every day. And it's been a really good feeling so far.
The newcomers that you have on this team, Symir, Torrence, Benny Williams, Swider, Jimmy Boeheim, what have they brought to the table for you, in your opinion? How have they automatically improved this team?
Obviously, talent-wise, they're all super talented guys. Benny can jump off the roof, jump to the roof. Cole can shoot the ball like no other, and Jimmy's got the experience, the talent. It's just something that gels really well with the rest of the team right now, and just the personalities just fit in really well with the team, so that makes it 10 times easier to play with each other.
I love that. Benny can jump through the roof. That coming from Jesse Edwards. Nice vote of confidence from a veteran on the team, even though he's only been there a couple of years. Jesse Edwards speaking on true freshman Benny Williams of the Syracuse Orange team, who got his first action in orange as number 13 got out there on the court for Syracuse in their exhibition game against the Pace Setters, who came into town from the Northeast 10, which is the same conference that you will find the Lemoyne Dolphins in, who are facing. And as I mentioned, Benny Williams, he is next up on the docket here for us to hear from Mr. Benny Williams on his take after his first game in orange. So here is the true freshman forward, Benny Williams.
There's what you could say about him. I mean, you finally get your debut, albeit in an exhibition game, just what it was like to get out on the court for you and wear orange this time.
It was unbelievable. I've been watching Syracuse since I was a kid. It was just an unreal moment, especially because my family was there watching me play.
And for you to be a part of this team, how would you describe the makeup of the team this season, talent-wise, just what you see in practice and what we should maybe expect?
Yeah, we got a lot of playmakers, rebounders, especially like shot makers. I mean, we pretty much got it all. From the starting five to the bench, like we're deep. Everybody knows what it takes to win, and everybody's going to do it.
2020 hindsight, making that decision to come to Syracuse, just what you think about that right now?
Best decision of my life. Don't regret it at all. Wouldn't have rather been at any other school. Syracuse is, I can call this.
Feel very good. And fan, best decision of my life. I can now call Syracuse home for sure. Some nice words coming from the true freshman. And good for recruiting for the Syracuse Orange as they move forward. Final Syracuse player conversation before we get into the trio of assistant coaches is going to come from Cole Swider. In his debut in orange, after coming over in the transfer portal from Villanova and spending time with Jay Wright there, I had the opportunity to speak with Cole Swider right after he made that decision, and now having the opportunity to speak with Cole Swider now as he makes the decision to enter on, as he has already made the decision. Very happy to have Cole on the show here today to speak about his first opportunity with Syracuse in orange, to give his take on how he feels he did when he was out there with orange across his chest for the first time ever. Syracuse was right there in his original recruitment. He chose Villanova, and now because of the transfer portal and the way that life works, he got to choose Syracuse. Here's Cole Swider in a very important and awesome special with someone that I appreciate so very much. Cole Swider here with us today on Wake Up Call, getting 21 points in his debut to match his jersey and lead the Orange.
Well, your debut is your jersey number. You did 21 with 21. Just
it was an exhibition. It still was great. You know what I mean? Playing for my teammates, and ultimately, obviously, it was sloppy. It wasn't the best, but I think the more we play together, the better we'll get. And it was just a great experience. I'm excited to see where this team can go.
Boeheim in the press conference said he could shoot, and he could shoot, and he could shoot, and he could shoot about you. Yeah. Talking about the fact that, obviously he believes in your offensive side of the game. Just what it means to have Coach Boeheim believe in you enough to bring you in here and to, defend the fact that he believes you got a nice shot out there that can help the team.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I think having a coach that believes in you is everything. I think having a coach that lets you play through mistakes, who lets you play through travel, who lets you play through a missed assignment on defense is everything for me. You know what I mean? I think coming here, that was one of the things that Coach Boeheim was like, we believed in you in high school, we believe in you now, and we want you to come here and be yourself. And that's every single day. He's preached that confidence to me, and I'm so blessed and thankful to have him and all these guys in my life for this next phase of my development.
To have orange across your chest when it already almost happened, and now it gets to happen, just what that means to you. We talked about it a little bit before, but to essentially go through recruitment again and to be able to make this choice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first time was a tough choice. Syracuse was right there, but this time it was an easy decision. You know what I mean? I remember talking to you right after, and it just felt like it was right. You know what I mean? And
every single day. It just feels like everything happens for a reason. I was able to grow at Villanova, and now I get to, like, my dad, you're undergrad at Villanova, and I get to do your graduate and help me throughout the season.
And for you and Jimmy, just what you guys have done to take from each other. He had 18 in his debut here. You had 21, as I stated before. What's it like working and kind of looking to improve your game off of Jimmy and Jimmy off of you? How do you guys work together?
Yeah, I think we still have to learn how to play it. I think with the time, the dedication, everything that he puts into it, I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for our team with him.
How would you describe kind of the makeup of the team as we get ready for the games that are going to start counting?
Yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, not having Buddy tonight hurt us. You know what I mean? Took away a big-time scoring option, an All-American in my mind. But I think it's going to help us down the road. You know what I mean? Learn how to play with me and Jimmy and everything in between. I think the makeup of the team, we have all the pieces we need. Everything in this locker room, we have everything that we need in this locker room, and I think we just got to continue to get better and learn how to play with each other.
You, Symir, Jimmy, Buddy, Joe, you guys have all either played together or seen each other before coming here. Just what that experience has been like to be on a team where it's kind of like getting the band back together in a way. Even if you played against them, you know each other's tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew each other before this. Coming in, it's just turning into like a real family type atmosphere. You know what I mean? They're all great guys. We do a lot of things together. We go over to Boeheim's house all the time. It's just been an amazing experience and everything in between. So I'm excited to grow with this group, and it's all great guys and all guys who want to get better and continue just to keep on chipping away at our ultimate goal.
Congratulations on the debut.
Thank you, my man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Cole Swider right there on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, giving his thoughts on the team and being awesome as always with, providing just a deep answers, and giving us a lot of information here, which is what I, always work to bring all of the fans, the listeners, the supporters out there as much as I possibly can, so that you can have a truly virtual kind of book to the season. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. When it comes to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, it's all on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also find it on Facebook at wakeupcalldt, Twitter at calldt, Instagram at wakeupcall_DT, and it's subscribed to our YouTube channel, Wake Up Call DT. So you can find us there, youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. We'll take a quick step aside for a fast break. When we come back, the trio of Syracuse Orange assistant coaches comes up next. Gerry McNamara, Alan Griffin, and Adrian Autry one-on-one with me right after this, inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out with you this morning to start off November on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Cafe Kubal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafekubal.com. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home m to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, 754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make your way out there every Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. to the Millhouse Market. Make sure you download the app before you head out there so you'll have everything at your fingertips for the Millhouse Market. Everything that you need, from the quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, brick oven pizzas, desserts, breads, and sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, there is nothing like the Millhouse Market. With their general store with local products from local companies like honeys and syrups and soaps and whatnot, as well as everything that they bring to us in their indoor dining and the drive-through pickup window. Grab your food and go. The Millhouse Market downloadable app on the Apple app or Google Play Store gives you everything you need for the menu, as I was saying, as well as gives you directions from wherever you are to the Millhouse Market. Once you get there, grab your food and go. Pick it up inside and hang out and dine in. Walk through the general store. And no matter what you do, support local, support good people, and support an incredible company with incredible flavors that does things right. The Millhouse Market, 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every single time. Back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. What's up, people? How we doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic morning this morning. I'm appreciating everybody coming through here and having some fun. I do want to make a note and a correction here. I said Jimmy Boeheim had 18 points. He had 19 in his debut at Syracuse in their exhibition game against Pace, and so I wanted to make that note. We are inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street and 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse. You'll also find them inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse. And of course, you can find them out in Manlius on 343 Fayette Street and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their newest location, their drive-through location. So make sure you check them out there. With that being said, we jump into our assistant coaches now as we continue my one-on-ones with Syracuse Orange men's basketball as we head into the 2021-2022 season, folks. So as we do that, we have the opportunity to go next to Mr. Gerry McNamara. Gerry McNamara, G-Mac, assistant coach on Syracuse's team, joining the broadcast once again. Gerry is no stranger to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I'm always happy to have him here on the show. So without further ado, here is Mr. Gerry McNamara in our one-on-one chat going in to the upcoming season.
There's been some losses and some gains onto the team with Braz and Quincy and Allen stepping away and Kadar.
Of what we're dealing with in college basketball right now, you're never going to have the same turnover as far as roster goes year in and year out. You just got to hope to do the best job you can with the guys you have. And, we're just really, really fortunate that we've brought in, really, really good players. It stings when you lose the type of people that we lost and, whether they go into the NBA draft or transfer out and try to look for a different opportunity. You just got to hope to put the pieces together. And, we were really lucky this year that we had previous relationships, obviously with Jimmy Boeheim, that's an easy one. And but you're talking about with Symir and Cole, these are two guys that we had relationships and recruited out of high school. So just really, really fortunate that we got great people, great players. And, this early part of the season, this preseason, has been a lot of fun working with these guys.
Symir, Torrence, and Joe Girard, having both of those guys with the ability to run the point, how do you see that working? Is Symir kind of more of the traditional point guard that maybe you're looking for? Does that move Joe into a different role? Does it make Joe kind of get a little more free? How do you see that?
Just kind of a collection of everything. I think Symir just brings a selfless winning attitude, a worker's attitude, and he's got more pieces to his game. I think that he's had the opportunity to show so far in his college career. And right now we're trying to make sure that from the three-point line he's as effective as he can be. It's just such a weapon when you can knock down the open one, and I think he's made big strides in that area. There's not a day that goes by that he's not out here an hour before practice getting his work in and getting our shots up and just putting in the time. So just really lucky that you have two competitive kids at the position. Joe has the luxury of sliding over to the two if we ever need to do that, and now you have an elite level shooter at the two, and you just have such a great decision maker and competitor in Symir at the one if that happens. So just a perfect fit. A guy that's played with Buddy and Joe in high school in the AAU circuit, and a cute guy that just loves this place, and we love having him, and he's been a joy to be around every day, that's for sure.
I've coined the Boeheim cubed now that you have Jimmy and Buddy. What is that like, knowing that, these guys have been around the program, and I'm sure it's got to be kind of surreal for you, because when you're Jim in a different way, how do you kind of look at everything knowing that you saw these little kids grow up before your eyes around their dad, and now you're coaching them?
I'm just really proud of them. It's more so than anything. I'm just looking at two kids that I watched grow, and kind of really two separate success stories. That's the way I look at it. Is Jimmy went and did his own thing, and had an opportunity to go to such a great academic institution in Cornell and graduate the way he did from one of the best business schools in the country, and and at the same time going through that academic rigor, he's become one of the best basketball players in that league. And to come full circle and to have to deal with the COVID year like he did, where they didn't play, the pain of sitting around and watching and kind of just waiting. So it's just nice to have him. He's turned himself into a heck of a player. He's a wonderful kid and now young man, obviously, and and then Buddy. I've coached a lot of guys, and I've just got a really special relationship with him. I just really admire and respect the way that he works and what he puts into it. There's never a day that you don't that you can pay a kid to say that he gives it everything he's got, and he does.
That coming from Gerry McNamara here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Always appreciate my time with G-Mac, as I'm in his parts right now in the Scranton, PA and Pennsylvania Northeast PA area over this weekend, and that is where he calls home. So big shout out to Gerry McNamara as I try to take care of your hometown for you. Up next here is going to be Mr. Alan Griffin. Alan Griffin joining Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to give his take on the upcoming season, assistant coach on the Syracuse Orange, and always a great time to have Griff on the show. And so with that being said, let's bring in Mr. Alan Griffin to the broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios.
Obviously, in the world we live in today, transfer portal and whatnot, there's turnover, and with guys like Quincy, as well as Braz and some of the other guys transferring out, Kadari and whatnot, for you to see the changes, but then to bring in a Jimmy, to bring in a Cole, to bring in a Symir and Benny Williams, obviously through recruitment the traditional way, just what it means to you to see what you've lost, but then also see what you've gained.
Yeah, the one thing about the guys that we lost, they were very, very talented guys, and a lot of those guys had tremendous upside. So it was tough, coming from that perspective. But when you think about what we brought in, and we brought in, proven guys, guys who've been in, games and wars, and is ready to play and compete at the highest level. So, one great thing about these guys too that we brought in is that they love playing with one another, and they came here for the right reasons. So it's been a delight to practice every day, and that's no lie. That's no offense to none of those guys that left. It's just one of those things that these guys has gelled and are starting to come together as a unit, which is great to see. So it's such a delight to come to practice every day.
I've coined the cubed world that you now live in around, and now they're big kids running around the gym. How surreal is that to you, and what's it like having both of them?
Oh, it's great. Again, the one thing about those guys is, they're not your quote-unquote coach's son. These guys are in the gym more than anybody, and they deserve everything that they have right now, and that's because they put in the work. So that's the greatest thing to see. And the funny thing about that is that when Gerry scored the 50 points against BYU in the tournament, that same tournament, I was working on staff here, and I was in the hotel one night babysitting Jimmy and the two twins. So it's full circle. See these guys now full circle is crazy, and it's just been a delight for them having them.
And then lastly for me, with you working with the bigs, what have you seen? I know John Boljack decided to come back. Frank Anselem's obviously here, and Jesse Edwards, and Barama Sidibe has been through so much, and he's a fighter, and I truly, I personally love his story, knowing that he's fighting to come back. So what's your room looking like, and what can you tell me about maybe the evolution of some of these guys?
Well, as a unit, and I like to talk about these guys as a unit, I think it's been one of the most competitive units that I've coached since I've been coaching. I think these guys all want the opportunity to play, and that's what they bring every day to practice, that attitude. Then individually, Jesse has gained some weight, and he's bigger, stronger, and that's going to help him. Barama is fighting through injury, and he has a no quit mentality, which is great because the other three guys see it. John has improved, one, his conditioning, but also two, his willingness to be an everyday guy, which is big. And then four, Frankie has made the biggest stride that I've ever seen in a player in my whole career. So I think the guys, my unit is, they just continue to just keep working, bringing it every day, and I'm looking forward to seeing these guys compete.
You said Frank made the biggest stride. What did he do?
Man, he did a lot. But, one, getting stronger, but two, he was when I tell you, Dan, he was an everyday dude. We used to have workouts here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he used to beat me to the gym every morning. He's 7:45 stretching, and he was ready to go, and he was ready to compete. And he translate what you teach him. He tries to bring it to live action, which is going to help him tremendously. There's a lot of things that we tried to do with him last year that he just couldn't do physically, just talent-wise, and it just clicked. And I just think that he wants it. So it's a sight to see. It's been unbelievable.
That coming from Alan Griffin, speaking on Frank Anselem improving in all areas, and speaking on his room with John Boljack, Jesse Edwards, Barama Sidibe, and Frank Anselem. Out to Griff as always, and many thanks to Griff for being a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and everything that we've gotten to do together over the years. I appreciate my connection to him on and off the court. And speaking of connection on and off the court, I have one more special for you today. We've had a ton of Syracuse conversations this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and we're going to finish with one more. As longtime on and off the court connection that I've had, a friend and someone I consider a colleague in the business, Adrian Autry, joins us right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. As Wake Up Call is in our travels after I had the opportunity, the pleasure, the honor, the just amazing blessing of being the MC of the 6th annual Marywood basketball tip-off dinner, thanks to Enrico Mastroianni, Marywood University, the whole basketball program, and the entire community, and to all of the guests and just everybody involved. Thank you so much. The Inn of the Abingtons, thank you for all that you did as well, and truly appreciate the night, appreciated the experience, and I'll hold on to it forever up here and right here. So, with that being said, we're on Wake Up Call inside the Cafe Kubal Studios, Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, inside of Galasanos Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, minutes from the Dome. And, of course, you will also find them on site, on location, at the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at their Sweetheart Corner location in North Syracuse, which has a drive-through, and on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So find them over there as well. We have our final conversation coming up for you here today with my Syracuse basketball one-on-ones, and that conversation is with none other than Mr. Adrian Autry. Not just a former player on the team, not just assistant coach on the team, but the associate head, means, as he told me, second in command. So he said if Jim Boeheim were to get sick, if he was ejected, if something happened, he is the one holding the clipboard. That's what Adrian said to me. Mr. Autry is up next here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Change. It's the name of the game right now. It's the transfer portal. It is here. It lives. We see Alan Griffin move on. We see Quincy Gerry move on. Woody Newton, and the list goes on. And a bunch of different guys decided Kadari to move forward. But you bring in a Cole Swider. You bring in obviously Jimmy Boeheim, and Benny Williams comes through traditional recruiting, and Symir Torrence. Just what you could say about navigating through the loss that is inevitable in today's world, but then also being able to bring somebody in.
I think the one thing we did was with change, The only time that it really matters is if you don't feel like you've replaced that and addressed, maybe you got your team better and address some issues that you need to address. And I do think we've addressed some issues. Obviously, some issues that may not seem like they will be addressed, but I think we got better. I think we've really we've been able to navigate the change by bringing in players that can help us and that can help us win and that we feel can help us win. And we'll only know how that change is good or bad until after the season. And that's how you look at it. But this is the name, and this is the way it is. It's change, adaptability, whatever you want to call it. But it's fluid. But you have to be able to, when these things happen, be able to kind of go back and see if you can address some things and try to get players that can come in and fit what you want to do.
Symir Torrence, he's a native of Central New York. He knows Joe Girard. He knows Jimmy and Buddy. What does that do for the team? What element does that bring that these guys have kind of an unteachable thing, which is the fact that they just know each other's tendencies, the strengths, the weaknesses? Having Symir come in does what?
I think with those three guys that you just named, obviously all those guys are local guys. So obviously being at Syracuse, it means something to them. They want to win, obviously, for themselves, but they know what this program is about. And I think they take it seriously and deeply. And I think not only do they have their own self-interest, but they have the interest of the team. And I think that's what those three guys bring in with Symir coming in. It just adds to that, again, especially being local, guys from local around the area and been in this program for years. Like, that's what you try to build, and I think we have that. And I think that's what that'll help us going forward.
Benny Williams, just what you can tell me about what he brings to the table. What should we know about number 13?
Very versatile forward, guy that can dribble, pass, and shoot. Has a high IQ, really good passers, athletic. Guy that can play above the rim, put it on the floor, make some plays. Just a super talented guy. Just one of the more talented guys that we've had come in, and since I've been here. Very unselfish and plays the game the right way.
What about Jimmy Boeheim? What did you take away from how he's evolved at Cornell and what he brings to the table?
Well, I know for a fact that he's really improved on his three-point shot. He's shooting the ball extremely well. He's finishing around the rim better each week just because of the size and the athleticism that he wasn't used to seeing at Cornell, and obviously being a year off. So I think he's rounding into form. People don't understand. Taking a year off and not playing competitive is hard to overcome. So I think he's shaking the rest off, but he's just really improved overall. He's improved his body physically. He's moving better. He's stronger. He's increased his athleticism. He's just a better player from the last time that anyone has really seen him. He's improved tremendously.
Cole Swider coming from Villanova. We know that Jay Wright trains them well. Just what did you get when you brought in Cole?
You got a lights-out shooter. You got probably arguably, between him and Buddy, the two best shooters in the country. But he has a little bit more to his game. And I think that was the big surprise to me. He can do some more stuff than just catch and shoot. He can put it on the floor. He can score, in the mid-post. So I'm just excited for him. He's an extremely hard worker, and what he's brought is passion, energy, and enthusiasm to a group and a mature approach to this experienced group.
You lost a lot in your room specifically, dealing with the forwards. How do you deal with that? And personally and professionally, how do you kind of let that go, not take it personally, and move forward? Because you were training, obviously, a bunch of these guys, and namely, probably most of all, Quincy.
I think, the way I look at it, I only can coach and the people that's here. Yeah. And, whether they transfer, graduate, go off to the NBA, when you lose someone or if someone leaves the program, obviously you miss them because you have that relationship. But that's expected in this game. This no one stays forever. So it's just one of those things where obviously you miss them, you wish them well, and you shift your focus to the guys that you have.
How weird was it to see him kind of test the NBA waters, and then instead of staying in the NBA draft or coming back, that he decided to transfer? I mean, did you get a sense of that beforehand, or did it kind of just hit you like, okay, maybe he's leaving? Oh, now he is leaving, but he's not going to the NBA. It seemed like it kind of all happened quickly.
I think he went through the process. Obviously, everybody has their groups and their support group, and as he went through the process and whatever the information he got back, I thought, he took that information and him and his group gathered up, and I think they just thought they had to do what was best for them.
How tired are you hearing about when is Jim Boeheim going to retire? I believe I'm asked this question at least weekly, if not every other day. How tired are you of hearing that, especially going into a new season?
I'm very tired of it. That's. I don't know. I'm tired of. Obviously, I play for him, and he's doing a great job. He's coaching. He brought me back. So, obviously, the only time I want to even hear about it is if it's coming from him. Yeah. That's it. Not from no one else.
You're the associate head coach. We spoke years ago, I think, when we were sitting at Boreo's, about how you want to be a head coach someday. Where does that go with you? Obviously, being tied to Syracuse, you're tied to Jim and what you're doing here and what you're building here. You've been very successful. You've recruited well. You've sent guys to the NBA from Syracuse. Is there still that want, though, to eventually have your own program?
Obviously, yes. It never stops. But I'm at my alma mater. I have a chance to impact people's lives and impact this program and this community, and that's something that I take very seriously. And I never get ahead of myself. I'm always a guy that takes it day by day, and I'm blessed. I have a great job. Working at a great university, and we have I don't feel the need to rush out of here unless it's something that that's so to be able to have an impact in society and obviously a community, that's the stuff that I focus on, and then whatever happens after that. But I don't spend a lot of time and energy as far as kind of worrying about my future, because if you do that, then you won't be good in the present.
I don't spend a lot of time worrying about my future, because if you do, then you won't be good in the present. I'm going to say that again, because I need to hear it. I know a lot of people need to hear it. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about my future, because then you won't be good in the present. Take that with you today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, coming from Adrian Autry in our special one-on-one conversation. That and so much more we get to have here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I appreciate all of my amazing guests that joined me on the show today. Hearing from Enrico Mastroianni to start off the show, coming off of the 6th annual tip-off dinner for Marywood basketball, as well as hearing from the Syracuse Orange men's basketball team and the opportunity that we had to be with this men's basketball team with so many different guests here on Wake Up Call, including Symir, Torrence, Jimmy Boeheim, Frank Anselem, Joe Girard III, Jesse Edwards, Cole Swider, and Benny Williams, as well as the trio of assistant coaches, Adrian Autry, Alan Griffin, and Gerry McNamara. I got a poll up right now on my Facebook page at Wake Up Call DT. Who would you rather choose in a game of horse to win? Alan Griffin, Gerry McNamara, or Adrian Autry. Choose between the Syracuse coaches. You can also vote on Twitter at CallDT, CALLDT. So go to Facebook at Wake Up Call DT or Twitter at CallDT and vote in my poll. Who would you rather pick in a game of horse to win among the Syracuse Orange assistants? Gerry McNamara to win horse, Adrian Autry, or Alan Griffin? Who would you choose? So make sure you make that choice and share it with us today. Thank you so much for being a part of today's broadcast. Thank you to all of our incredible partners. And of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is live for you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets life on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and facebook.com/livenowdt, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com. After the show goes live, you can catch it in the archives on Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Search us on any one of those, either by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And a big shout out to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners: Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Progressive Dental, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay, where the Peppermint Chip Shake is now available, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Millhouse Market, Lemoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and Mother's Cupboard, and of course, the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne Dolphins. Fins up to the Lemoyne Dolphins as they take on Syracuse in the exhibition game tonight. CNY is going to be decked out. Make sure you're wearing your green and your orange, my two favorite colors, for Lemoyne and for Syracuse as they face off in the Dome tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you at the Dome, God willing, tonight, and can't wait to do that with you. So let's hang out at the Dome and enjoy that. Find out so much about the Lemoyne Dolphins every Wednesday live on Wake Up Call at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with our Dolphin Time, which is a series that we bring to you every single Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where you have the first and third Wednesday AD and DT of every month, Athletics Director Bob Beretta, and myself, Dan Tortora, with an all-new episodes this Wednesday, November 3rd. Second and fourth Wednesday, Dolphin Dive, where student athletes, coaches, and staff have the opportunity to tell their stories here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora exclusively. So a lot of great stuff coming up. Fins up as always. Check out the Lemoyne College tab by going to wakeupcalldt.com, clicking on Lemoyne. You'll get all of our AD and DT episodes, as well as all of our Dolphin Dive, the composite schedule for all games, for all teams, and so much more. And you can get more information on LemoyneDolphins.com. Pacer Pride, baby, on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as Wake Up Call is also the proud multimedia marketing partner of the Marywood University Pacers. They are with us with specials every single month, and I'm so excited about what's coming up with Marywood University and our upcoming November editions of Pacer Pride, our exclusive conversations with student athletes, staff members, and coaches of Marywood University. So very excited about what November's going to bring, and always looking forward to shouting out the Pacers here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Pacer Pride. Find out more by going to the Marywood tab on wakeupcalldt.com, where you get all of our exclusive Pacer Pride episodes, as well as their composite schedule. And of course, you can go to marywoodpacers.com. That being said, find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, the Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. Thank you to John Grenquist for helping to design the logo for Wake Up Call and for everything we do at Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. And a big shout out and a thank you for putting it on the apparel, Mark Products in Syracuse, New York. Get in touch with Mark Products today, and I will give you the phone number so you can get in touch with Mark Products. And I do want to let you know, because I very, very much appreciate the incredible work that they did for me. You can get in touch with Mark Products by calling 315-468-5421. That's 315-468-5421. 421. Let them help you today on 3492 Court Street in Syracuse, New York. So get in touch with them this morning and throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, like I said, at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook, at Call DT on Twitter, and at Wake Up Call _DT on Instagram.